Chelsea's next breakout star isn't a first-team signing. The academy is already full of them. Here are 5 academy players that are set to have a breakout year. We previously looked at players with the most potential and chances of making a first team one day, but this is a top 5 list of players in different age groups who you really need to keep an eye on this coming season. Number 1 on this list has been completely forgotten about, yet boasts a goal every 90 minutes at under 21's level, but now he's back and he could be Chelsea's breakout striker sooner than anyone expects. But at number 5, a name you have to remember, Chisayo Saka. Still just 16, he plays amongst players a number of years older. He's a lethal striker with bite, power and confidence. He has the entire package you want for a striker, and to have that at his age is nothing but sensational. He's quick, strong and physical, which means he can drive progressively with the ball, but can also hold the ball up, lay it off to the other attacking options around him who are also to feature in this video. He stood out last season in the under-18s Premier League, and just last week signed a scholarship to keep him around at Chelsea for the next couple of years, before he signs his own professional contract, which Chelsea will want to do as soon as he turns 17. He managed 11 goals and 4 assists in 18 appearances in the under-18s Premier League, and even featured in the under-21s towards the end of the season, making 3 appearances. The only reason he's not higher up on this list is that the brunt of his games next season will come in the under-18s, whereas the rest of these players may be more involved in the under-21s, a slightly higher level. With Shin Mayuka's heavy involvement in the under-21s next season, that leaves Chizzy as the only real striker in the under-18s at the moment, giving him the best chance to score a load of goals before stepping upwards as well. He will of course get chances in the under-21s as well this season, and maybe if he manages to score a lot there too, they could fast track him up in order to develop with players older than him, a lot older than him, and from there potentially get chances to train with the first team. Interestingly, back in March, the non-international players at Chelsea, consisting of the likes of Badiashile and Kunku, Sancho, Tosin, Gusto, Lavia, etc., played a training game against the under-21s, which Ezamwata was featured in. He scored one of the goals in a 3-0 win to help beat the first team. Maresca was reportedly left furious and cancelled their day off, so Chizzy will definitely be on the radar of Enzo for future first team involvement. I really do think you should keep an eye on him, as he could have a crazy year of scoring more goals, which will put his name more out there, and the buzz around his name is only going to keep growing. At number 4, I've got Antwe, a name that would be more mainstream by now if it wasn't for the number of injuries he has sustained. The Ghanaian-born winger has been performing under the radar for a number of years across different age groups at Chelsea, but has struggled with injuries. He was really impressive for the under-18s at the start of the 23-24 season, but experienced a significant groin injury which kept him out for 5 months, a really long and important time frame for development as an academy player. His first full season with the under-21s came this season, 24-25 campaign, and managed 8 goals and assists. He started the season as a bench player from what I can tell, but forced his way into the starting 11 around Christmas, which is when he put up his productive numbers. However, for the last few games he was absent, which I presume was just injury again. But he is still very young, turning 19 just in April, so there is more than enough time for him to still explode onto the scene. And if he stays injury free this season, it could be his breakout year. It will be his second season in the under-21s. And back in 2024, as an 18-year-old, against Astana, the Kazakhstani team in the Conference League, he played an entire half of football for the first team, making his debut. And he has often been pictured with the first team training, which shows Maresca and the rest of the hierarchy see his potential at Chelsea. He looks confident and has everything you want from a modern day winger, albeit being right-footed and preferring to play off the right, preferring to cut the ball back on his strong foot and shooting a cross goal. He's rapid with the ball and without, he makes smart runs and is really strong. He kind of reminds me of a Noni Madueke, but his only trait isn't cutting in and shooting. I reckon he'll have a big season coming up next, and then we'll have to see if he gets a loan or takes a chance moving elsewhere permanently, as we are stacked for wingers nowadays, not just in the first team, but also from Cobham with Tyreek George, Frankie Runham, and a brand new signing who appears at number 3 next up, all in front of Ampa really in the pecking order for making it in the first team one day. So number 3 now is Jesse Derry, someone who as of recording hasn't been officially announced as a Chelsea player, but don't get it wrong, he is all but ours after massive competition from Champions League clubs all across Europe after his contract expired with Crystal Palace this summer. None other than Bayern Munich thought that they had signed the 18-year-old winger who scored 19 goals and contributed 4 assists for Palace's under-18s before Chelsea swooped in last minute after long-standing interest and thought of competition from a reported 8 other teams. Smooth on the ball, brilliant with close control, and an absolute nightmare 1v1. He's looking like Chelsea's next academy standout creator. He only turned 18 last month, and he also made 10 appearances for Palace's under-21s last season. He also played at the under-19s Euros with England, scoring 2 in 3 games possible. He performed well, but disappointingly, England didn't make it out the group, playing with other players such as Kiana Dyer, Shimeuka, Murray Campbell, other Chelsea academy players. He reminds me of a Cole Palmer or a Jack Grealish as a winger with a taller frame, but he reads defenders and the game as a whole absolutely brilliantly, knowing exactly what he's going to do way before anyone can even think of it. He's clearly got the flair, but he's added the end product too. The numbers he put up last season was absolutely insane. I expect him to go into the under-21s team and should be able to replace the Tyreek George-shaped hole as a right-footed left winger that puts up numbers, who has now been promoted to the first team. In a less likely scenario, Derry could go out on loan instantly, where they could think he would benefit from acclimatising to men's football as soon as possible, but I expect him to have an instant impact in the under-21s, and just like George, put up huge numbers there. From there, I think his name will get even more exposure, and who knows what he can achieve. He could make his debut for Chelsea in a cup competition, as they most likely promised first team involvement as an incentive for joining us. And if Tyreek George did go out on loan and maybe injuries occurred in the left wing position in the first team, he could theoretically get his chance sooner rather than later, which he really wasn't far off doing at Palace. Interestingly, Derry also has family ties at Chelsea. He's the cousin of Reggie Watson, an honourable mention of this list, but will most likely break out next season. He's a very highly rated defensive midfielder currently with the under-16s, who also made the same move from Palace last year. So let's see what Derry achieves with the under-21s in the 25-26 campaign. I think it will be an exciting and really big year for his development. Moving on, fullback seems like the position Cobham is able to produce in not just quantity but absolute quality as well. Reece James, Tino Livramento, Lewis Hall, Tariq Lamptey, Patrick Van Arnholt, Ryan Bertrand, Ola Aina and Ian Matson were all part of the Chelsea Academy once and were all Premier League operators in their time, some still currently. And then number 2, I picked Genesis Antwe, surely the next name to add to that list. He has represented Sweden all the way from under 16 level to under 19s at right back, recently turning just 18 in May. He has also been identified by Maresca and made his debut for the first team as well in the Conference League, taking part in 2 games in the end. But making his debut wasn't the only impressive thing about Antwe. He actually slotted into the team perfectly, and in the game I remember watching, albeit being against quite a weak opposition, he came on for Malagusto and performed better than him. Someone who has been in the first team for years at this point in the exact same position. He's quick, aggressive and attacking minded. Antwe is everything you want from an attacking modern fullback. Overlapping runs, wicked crosses and an engine that just does not stop. He just finished the season primarily with the under-18s with 1 goal and 6 assists, showing his attacking threat. And then after getting chances in the under-21s, he scored 2 goals and notched 2 assists in just 400 minutes in the under-21s Premier League. I imagine he'll get much more chances in the under-21s this upcoming season, and with another productive full season at that level, Antwe is well on his way of being another elite Cobham product. It will remain to be seen whether Maresca can fit him into the system long term, as Reece James has had to be converted into a midfielder in order to get our captain minutes, and previously mentioned Malagusto has looked like a square peg in a round hole when tested in that position, as the manager that won 2 trophies in his first season uses a system void of classic wide fullbacks. Wherever Antwe does end up in his career, I really do believe he'll be a brilliant attacking fullback, as he doesn't seem to fear anything. Moving into the under-21s or even the first team, absolutely seamlessly when given the chance. He's confident in his ability and lets his football do the talking. If we did need an attacking right back profile next season, as Maresca did experiment once or twice last year with a slightly different formation, with Malagusto holding the attacking width on the right rather than a left-footed winger, bearing in mind Reece James's injury history and Joshua Chempong's uncertain short-term future, don't rule out a real chance of more integration into the first team sooner rather than later. So at number 1 then, I've picked out the Jamaican prodigy Djan Whisper Richards. Chelsea fans know all about him, but after an entire season out with an ACL injury, I'm investing my stocks in Whisper, as he looks to pick up where he left off before his injury at the tail end season of the 23-24 campaign. Even though he's not a Cobham boy, I think he'll most definitely explode this season in the under-21s, so I'd keep an eye out for him. He joined officially back in January 2024 after turning 18 with a pre-contract agreement bringing him over from the Phoenix Academy in his homeland Jamaica. He had a trial with Newcastle prior to that, and Chelsea reportedly beat multiple rivals to his signature. Richards Richards is a towering 6'2" striker, but he can play anywhere across the front three with a wand of a left foot. He is rapid, as his nickname Whisper suggests, with huge physical prowess as well. He was literally bullying people as an 18-year-old in under 21s football. Now 19 years of age and turning 20 soon, I imagine without the injury that this would have been his season to go out on loan and get first team men's football experience, but I think he'll go straight into the under 21s when the season begins, after a very impressive record after a very short viewing before his injury. He's only managed 11 games for the under 21 so far, but scored 7 goals and got an assist in the 637 minutes he was given, achieving a goal every 91 minutes at that point in time, which is just absurd. The guy's made 10 appearances for his nation, scoring once, which made him the youngest goal scorer for Jamaica in CONCACAF Gold Cup history. He's seen as a really huge talent over there, and Chelsea identified him early and was one of the first teenagers we signed with the data approach alongside Kendry Pires and Estella. He's been back at the training ground recently and will be getting his fitness back in pre-season. I can see him banging in goals so much in the first half of the season, he could even get a loan in January, but we will have to see what the future holds. Cobham keeps delivering, and these are the top 5 I'd bet on having a breakout season to make a name for themselves at Chelsea's academy. Let me know in the comments which of these 5 are you most excited about. Who else do you think will have a breakout campaign? And if you want more in-depth Chelsea youth content, academy content, and stuff about the first team, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.